Alright, so I had to do a little bit of rearranging in the shop there because I got a new air compressor there. Friggin' it's an 80-gallon 2-stage 14 CFM at 90 psi, 175 psi max. Not too bad. A little bit of an expensive one might be like 17 or so CFM at 90, but you know, for what I do, this is plenty. But I had to replace my old one. This is a Campbell Hausfeld as well, but they just, you know, call her a farmhand or whatever. It's all Campbell Hausfeld badging on it. I don't know how good you're going to be able to see it or whatever, but you can see right there all the Campbell Hausfeld, this and that, whatever. So it's good unit, whatever, blah blah blah. But this is what I'm replacing, and it's just a single stage unit. Only goes up to 125 psi. Friggin' 10.3 CFM at 90. Friggin' so I thought I'd explain to you the difference and why I replaced one big air compressor with another big air compressor. Alright, so single stage basically just means the air gets sucked in the air filter. There's in between the head and the cylinder, there's like reed valves. They're just like one-way valves. There's no like springs or anything to adjust or nothing. Like, you know, it's pretty much just like a single cylinder, like the redneck lawn chair engine or whatever, but there's, you know, just the cylinder in the head and whatever. So it's basically just like a flat piece of metal riveted on one end so it can flap one way, and then there's another one that goes the other way, sort of thing. So one will go down and one will go up, but so it just sucks the air in, pushes the air out through the tube into the tank. Simple, end of story, done. And it shuts off at 125 psi. So when you're running your air tools, most of the time, you know, you want to run at about 100, at least 90 anyway, but you know, most of the time about 100 psi, and then the friggin' thing doesn't turn back on until 85 psi. So you're running a dead air tool until it decides to kick back on, and then it's got to build up the pressure again, and so you're basically constantly running the pump and the motor and stuff or whatever, right? So, and they heat up pretty good. That's why okay, so the 2-stage there, let's see, we got the big the main cylinder, and then we got the secondary cylinder. So the air gets sucked in just like the other one, and reed valves just like the other one. And then so this big cylinder squishes all the air into the tube that connects them, which has got all these fins on it for cooling. And so it's already under pressure. It jams it into this smaller cylinder. So now, like, all the air from this big cylinder is crammed into this small cylinder, and then it goes into the air compressor, and it goes up to 175 psi, and then it'll kick back on at 125 psi. So you never drop below 125 psi in your tank, and you know what I mean? And it'll kick back on and go up to 180 pretty well. Like, you know, the regulators are always a little out. You bang on them and they move and stuff like that or whatever. So when it shut off, it was at 180, and I filled the air pig and pissed around with it and stupid stuff. But and then there's the regulator that I got. And somebody asked me a while ago about this air dryer, and I mean, works pretty good. You just put the pellets in there and, you know, just hook it up properly or whatever, and works pretty good. So you got lots of air. Your regulator's never, you know, below what you got it set at, whatever, and it's a lot more pressure, a lot more stuff done if you're ever doing sandblasting or anything and stuff like that. Just gobble up the air. So this one keep up with your stuff. So yeah.